It's your man KWU TV. We're gonna dive in today on the Book of Alchemy by Francis Melville. Learn the secrets of the alchemist to transform mind, body, and soul. Alright. So we learning what the white man retranslated out of our from our ancestors. So brief introduction. Alchemy has always been a mysterious, even obscure art. Its origins are shrouded in mystery and steeped in myths and legends. Even the derivation of the word alchemy itself is uncertain. There are three main possibilities, each of which sheds light on the purpose and origins of alchemy. The first is from Chem. Understand this, people. The first is from Chem, the native name of Egypt, right? With Arabic, the pre-Arabic prefix al. The second derives from Greek word chemia, alright, meaning the art of casting. So that means the first was chem and then the Greeks got it. K, alright. The third derived from chemia, another Greek word meaning the art of extracting juice or medicinal properties from plants. Alright, the first explanation has been the most widely held, but there's a disagreement as to what chem really means. It usually thought to mean black Egypt, therefore was born down the Nile, being the black land, an allusion to the black alluvial silt that for millennia was born down the Nile and annually flooded the flatlands of northern Egypt before the building of the Aswan Dam. Some scholars maintain that chem is actually derived from a root meaning wise. Alchemy therefore would be the art from the land of the wise, or the wise art. Whatever is its origin, alchemy is a word familiar to most of us, and yet remains one of the most mysterious of all, the esoteric wisdom traditions. Until recently, science historians have tended to consider alchemy as a forerunner of modern chemistry, and alchemists deluded practitioners of an illusory pseudoscience, who nevertheless managed to establish some useful scientific facts in the course of their experiments. But what of all the princes, saints, popes, and queens who have practiced this art? And they say nothing of such eminent scientists as Isaac Newton, Robert Bohr, and Jan Bess Helmont. Alright. So, the macrocosm and the microcosm. So let's take a look. Alright. The planets, Animalia, Vestibulia, Mineralia, Artis Liberia, all leading up to the earth, elements. Alright. Into our nature, speculum artistical image. This is ancient. Alright. So the guards on the outside, conquer your nature. The elements. See what the sun is. That's the arc right there. Shining on to the Ankhs, the realm of minerals. Okay, so take notes. The Ankh is shining light on the mineral realm. So, you see that mineral realm? And it's in Latin. those are minerals. So the elementals is more than just the so again, you got the animal realms, the vegetable realm, the mineral realm, the liberal art realm, like science, animal science, vegetable science, natural science. So you got those realms. I don't say so. You got those three: the vegetable, animal, minerals. Then you got to master those realms to the natural realm. To master your animal instinct to rise into the God realm. Alright? So the macrocosm and the microcosm. Via Dom nature, the ape of art received the invincible fire from the hand of God. Thus he has the tools with which to ape nature and perform marvelous works. I give forth little book in volume but small, yet hast thou in thee that is not in them all, the breviaries of natural philosophy. Right. It's the above, so below. Maria the Jewess, the legendary alchemist Maria the Jewess, aka Maria the Prophetessa, indicates the mystical merge of soul and spirit, as symbolized by the commingling of the descending water of heaven with the rising water of earth. Right. The Philosopher's Stone. The great bone of contention about the plausibility of alchemy is a mysterious substance called the Philosopher's Stone. Methods for perfecting this stone provide the avowed basis of a great majority of alchemical texts. This stone of the wise is claimed to transmute basic metal into the purest gold. Dream on, says the rational skeptic, and who can blame him or her? It's much easier to accept the idea that the true object of such transmutation is the alchemist, him or herself, that the Philosopher's Stone actually represents for perfect spiritual enlightenment. The attainment of enlightenment is equated with sainthood, the highest calling of all religions. Miracles appear to occur in the presence of saints, because such miracles include transmutation. What do the alchemists themselves say about their art? The anonymous author of the influential Sophic Hydraulic Water of the Wise tells us that the practice of this art enables us to understand not merely the marvels of nature, but the nature of God himself. It shadows forth in a wonderful manner all the articles of Christian faith and the reason why man must pass through much tribulation and anguish and fall prey to death before he can rise again to a new life. Alchemists must recognize their art as a sacred science that unveils the secrets of nature, leading the sincere seeker to union with the divine. This union is achieved through preparing the Philosopher's Stone, which is said to both transmute base metals into gold and to be the elixir of immortality. A clue to the nature of the stone can be found in one of its alternative names, Azoth, from the phonetic Arabic Izat, meaning essence. Alchemists believe that there is an inner essence in humans that has been lost since the fall, symbolized by the expulsion of Adam and Eve from the Garden of Eden. To rediscover this essence, free it from its bonds, and purify it in this great work of the alchemists. So, I'm going to skip ahead because right here, and we're going to go to a brief chapter 1. Alright, brief history of the art. Separate the earth from fire, the subtle from the gross. All right. Western alchemy has a long and checkered history that stretches back into the midst of pre-antiquity. We will begin historical section with the sketch of Hermes Trismegistus, the legendary founder of alchemy, and follow the lines of transmission through the Islamic alchemists into medieval Europe and right up to the present day. We will plot the most important developments of the art during the course of the past 2,000 years, and we discovered that alchemy is very much alive and kicking today, without modern alchemists rediscovering and successfully performing some of the most important and difficult works. Along the way, we encounter some of the strangest and most mysterious episodes of history of alchemy, and we'll meet some of its important practitioners. Thrice greatest Hermes of Hermes or Hermes Trismegistus is traditionally considered to have been a great sage of pre-Diluvian Egypt and an early leap into the chain of divinely illuminated adepts that the Zoroaster, Enoch, Moses, Pythagoras, and Plato. All right, Hermes Trismegistus. All right, and before I go, these are Greek terms. All this information came from Egypt, Africa. All right, Egypt is a Greek term. All right. All right, so these languages have been translated because we didn't speak these languages. All right, but peep it. So remember, Egypt is Africa, the black land, the land of the blacks. Black is just a term. It's not, that was just a description of us, all right, of today, because we speak a whole different language. So it's Greek to Latin to whatever else, all right? That's how the translation of African science, magic, math, building, whatever, it's been translated to Greek, then to Latin, and so on and so on. All right? So understand how they, basically white people, they conquered, right? Alexander the Greek, they plundered. And those temples was the way to summon the energies and everything about the cosmos and life on earth and nature, basically. It's the study of alchemy, all right? So they took it, translated in their languages, so they can practice and conquer, all right? So, but they give props, but they translate the names, put their stamp on it, basically. They steal it, all right? So the thrice greatest Hermes or Hermes Trismegistus is a legendary genius of alchemy. This is why the alchemists often refer to themselves as the son of Hermes. And there are enough legends surrounding his identity to fill a whole book. We shall consider two of his most significant aspects. The ancient Egyptians knew Hermes Trismegistus as Thoth, the divine personification of wisdom, whom they portrayed as the abyss-headed scribe of the gods, the inventor of the hieroglyphics, patron of the sacred science of geometry, math, astronomy, and medicine. But above all, alchemy. Thoth exists at every level of being. He serves the gods, but also proceeded in them. Indeed, he brought them into being. He is the self-creating magician, the word of God in action. He is but to name a thing, and it springs into life, clothed with being. Right? So Thoth, not Hermes Trismegistus. We'll say the ancient Egyptians knew Hermes Trismegistus as Thoth. So that's how we knew him. Our ancestors knew it as Thoth. Right? Thoth exists at every level. You know, you changed it. So now they give you the Egyptian Hermes. Right? The Greeks identified their god, Hermes, as being an aspect of Thoth, right? Which is why they named him Hermes Trismegistus, thrice greatest, in recognition of his status, although legend also has it that it were three separate historical Hermes. The Greek Hermes is the messenger of the gods who meditates between heaven above and earth below. He is the ambivalent god of the crossroads, being both god and trickster, and patron of both merchants and thieves. The Roman equivalent of Hermes is Mercury, and alchemists often refer to Hermes Trismegistus as Mercury or Mercurius. As we shall see, the alchemists apply the word Mercury to so many different things that it exemplifies the great riddle of life. Alright, so remember, they started out with tricks in the language, in the understanding, the Hermetica. So we already passed the Egyptian version, we in the Greek version. Alright, so this is why we take back what they telling you that they took it and they translate it. So we take it and retranslate it for our benefit, because this is our rights. This is our inheritance. That's what the thing is talking about from my understanding. And you don't have to believe me, but that's how I'm rolling with it. You understand? So let's understand and practice. You know, this goes with our melanin. That's what they know. And that's what I know that they know. You understand? So that's why as above, so below. They take our science, use it against us, and we got the particle that goes with the science, but it's using against us. They don't have the particles. And that's how they rule. Alright, so let's keep understanding. Sorry about that, just gotta get that out. These texts are generally believed to be very ancient indeed. It was not until the 17th century that it was established that the texts that have come down to us were written down in Alexandria during the first 3 centuries of the Christian era. And though they may have been elaborations upon earlier manuscripts, some of these writers were translated by Arab scholars from Greek and Coptic manuscripts and were introduced into Europe via the Moors of Spain during the 12th century. The main body, however, was not translated until 1471, when Cosimo de Medici, the great patron of Florentine Renaissance, make sure y'all look him up, instructor Marcello Ficino, look that up, to intercept his translations of Plato, to translate into Latin a Greek set of Hermetica that Cosimo had obtained from Byzantium. You understand? That's how you get the split in different aspects. So you gotta go find that too. Alright? Recent development of printing allowed for Hermetica's swift disposition throughout Europe. The impact of the Hermetica on a Renaissance philosophy was enormous. Here was an ancient body of theological, philosophical, scientific, and medical writings of extraordinary beauty, intellectual power, and spiritual authority, in which Jews, Christians, and Muslims could find confirmations, amplifications, and refinements of their own sacred teachings. The alchemical process, the creation myth, becomes a much richer, more detailed and expressive, allegorical, and awesome alchemical process. Hermes describes human as the great miracle, capable of achieving godhood as individual by transcending these states of being that separate them from the divine. Humans are dignified as being truly made in the image of God, being the microcosm that reflects the macrocosm. Everything in creation finds its reflection in humans, who therefore have at their disposal all the tools that they need to achieve their divine destiny, should they so choose to accept it. The Emerald Tablet, the most famous text attributed to Hermes Trismegistus, is the Emerald Tablet, or Tabula Smardina. There are many legends surrounding it as if there are of Hermes himself, inscribed on green stone. It is variously said to have been discovered by Sarah, the wife of Abraham, Alexander the Great, or the first-century sage, Apollonius of Tyana. The earliest known version of it is to be found in a text by the 8th century Islamist alchemist Jabir ibn Hayyan, second book of the Elements Foundation Hamyar, who credits Apollonius as the source. Medieval Latin versions of the Emerald Tablet can be traced to 12th century Moorish Spain, making it the first Hermetic text to reach the West. To the uninitiated, the Emerald Tablet appears to be confusingly cryptic riddle, but has always been held in the highest regard by true alchemists as the most perfect, precise of the creative principles of the universe. The following verse is based on various Latin and English translation. This is the truth. The whole and the certain, without a word of a lie. That is which above is of that which is below, and that which is below is that which is above. Thus are accomplished by the miracles of the One. And as all things come from the One through the meditation of the One, so all things are created by this One through the adaptation. Its father is the sun, its mother is the moon. The wind bears in its belly, the earth nurtures and it engages all the wonders of the universe. Its power is complete when it is turned to earth. Separate the earth from fire, the subtle from the gross. Gently and with great ingenuity, it ascends from earth to heaven and descends again to earth, combining the power of below and above and below. Thus you will achieve the glory of the universe, and all obscurity will flee from you. This is the power of all powers.